you will manage to get to that part of the island before the rest of the pirates do. So, what would you like to do to prepare if you're trying to set a trap?
We need traps. Well, this is gonna be terrible. But I know it works on islands. Who can set fires?
Oh.
Not Tori's ghost body at the moment.
I think only Jim could do that now.
Is that in your body or your head? That's what I'm confused with magic. Is it mental or physical?
Well, it is an IQ roll, but I have to manipulate the dolls to do it.
Right.
So.
Right.
Yeah.
And he has the dolls.
Oh, he has the dolls!
He has your dolls.
I didn't know that!
Always the old-fashioned way. Because if we can burn them out, they can't get through. However, that also means we'll be kind of stuck near a forest fire. But it is effective.
I mean, can't we, like, start fires with what we have in the forest?
Oh, 100%.
There are matches in...
Wood, kindling, yeah.
Tori has matches in her jacket pocket.
Oh, I
yeah.
do?
I would too, because
Okay.
I smoke. So we both would have
Pull out the matches.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't used... Have we used the coffee cup yet?
No. Oh, I actually just had an idea.
Captain.
I had an idea.
Couldn't someone just fill it up and drink it and have it say best red cap?
Our best captain, not
Best
red cap.
captain.
No,
yes.
there's no such thing as a good red cap.
Right.
I was also thinking, Tori, what would happen if you put those eyes on, like, a tree? Would it be able to move? Like its limbs?
We'd have to see and find out.
And we all have our senchi balls.
Uh-huh.
So, you don't think that it gives, like, locomotion to an object?
No, but like its arm, like its branches, would it be able to, like, swing?
True. That you could try
That's
it.
what I meant.
You could try it. You could try it.
So I get that at least could potentially be an obstacle for them to have to get by.
I'm assuming Sam has been holding on to my googly eyes since I couldn't carry them, or Hark.
Sure.
Okay.
You have the googly eyes.
Okay, cool. So I guess I'll put it on a tree.
You put on the tree, and I'm thinking now, like, the tree from Pocahontas. So, it's a female tree, and she opens her eyes and say, "Oh, we have more treasure seekers, it looks like."
There's some really bad ones coming, and we're wondering if you'd be able to give us a hand.
What sort of hand are you thinking of?
Do you know where the treasure is, and can you fight?
Oh, of course. All of the trees knows where the treasure is.
Can you tell us?
She says, "It's in the middle of the water, but in order to pinpoint exactly where it is, you need to know where all the X's cross."
Eidetic memory, I immediately pull out whatever map I have and I start drawing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, so there was an X.
There was another X here.
There was another X there, and if you look at the handout, I think the other X was actually here.
Oh, yeah, I was off. It's over here.
It's over there.
Nice.
So ignore the one that's
Okay.
at the shoreline.
So in that case, it would be. Well,
He said where all the X's cross.
yep. Oh, come on. Lines. There we go. So it'd be there. Then it's gonna look a little weird, but there. X marks the spot nuts.
Yeah. Where they cross.
Right there.
Wherever that is, because I can't see the map, but wherever that is.
I see it.
Let's just leave them to dig here then. And I'm sorry, we're gonna have to take the eyes away so you can't tell them the same thing.
Oh, she says, I actually like this forum. I can actually talk to other people.
I know, I'm sorry. But we
Bye,
don't
tree. I take the eyes off.
And you just take it, yoink,
Alright,
and the trees.
And also the good news is I have all the other maps.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't show them to Gregor, I just told him about it.
Right.
So
Okay.
they're handicapped.
Well,
Let's get going. Back on the boat.
All right.
We gotta
Jim's
go
gonna
fast,
leave.
and we gotta go fast, and we've got to make sure that Gregor doesn't follow us, so that if he does, Frankie, can you be ready with one of your shields? That seemed to work pretty good last time.
Oh, I can try.
Great. And Sam, you got your firearms, right? Just in
I-
case.
Tori has them.
I
Tori,
don't know how well Jim can shoot a gun.
I mean, who knows, honestly, with that kid. Alright, but we have options. Let's get to that area, and then we gotta dive.
Okay.
So I hope y'all are ready to go swimming.
I was.
I learned to hold your breath, lad. Good thing is, Gregor knows how to swim. So Gregor's
Oh, thank God. Come on, okay.
You can't be a sailor without knowing how to swim.
Yeah. Okay.
So you're gonna leave and let Redcap to his own devices.
I mean, we could set a fire if we want, but I feel really bad about burning that tree.
So you're gonna head towards where all of the X's cross, and you'll get there pretty easily. And you don't have to roll a boating check because things are relatively calm. When you reach that spot, I would like for everyone to make a scene check, perception scene check.
Okay.
I'm so happy
Thank
I'm good seeing now.
And rolling for Tori.
Yes. Nice. I got a 7.
I got a 7.
Anyone who passes, the water here in the atoll is actually fairly clear. It's very blue and clear, so you can see almost to the very bottom of the water. It seems like there is a vast amount of coral down below, very beautiful looking coral reef directly below, and I would say probably I'm gonna guesstimate like 8 stories deep down. You can kind of see the opening of an underwater cavern. And that's all I will say. An underwater cavern, it seems like, straight down amongst the
That's
coral.
really deep.
It is really deep.
Frankie's body still has doesn't have any armor on it. Never mind.
Frankie's body does not. Yeah.
Wish we had some cannonballs or something. Helps get down real fast.
Oh,
But I mean,
getting down's not the problem, it's getting back up.
that's the problem with cave diving. There's always risk.
We have rope.
If it were just me, I'd volunteer in a heartbeat, but I don't feel comfortable risking Frankie's body.
I don't. That's kind of the problem. No matter what, even if only one person goes, 2 people are at risk. Because we don't know how this kind of stuff will affect Tori even. So I know I can swim, and I know I have the mentality to handle being underwater for an extended period of time. I kind of look at Sam like nodding about like the eel situation back in Tori's world. But
Say, Jim's a great swimmer too.
He is a great swimmer.
he's a very good swimmer.
Yeah.
And Frankie's a pretty good swimmer, just athletic-wise. I think. All right, who here's the weakest swimmer? That's the question. Who's the weakest?
It would have been me, but not in that form.
Because I was gonna say, swimming is determined by what?
Health.
Oh,
Who has the lowest health?
yeah.
I think it
so-
might be Star.
Let
Whose
me
body has the lowest
look
health?
at
Health and black
Sam's.
Star and Black Powder health-wise are equal.
Yeah. We're both 11. Yeah.
We're both 11s.
I have a 10 for Sam.
So all of you can kind of swim pretty okay. It seems.
Lonic has skills that give him enhanced athleticism, but that's on him, not on Frankie.
All
I have a
right.
question, a meta question. With Tori with us, do we still have bad luck?
The bad luck is women on a ship, right?
Yeah, women on a ship.
They're not on a ship.
Even then, it's only because the men would get distracted by a girl. And we're not distracted by Tori being a girl anymore. So I don't even know if
Talk about something else.
So
You're not. Even then, you're not on a ship.
Yeah.
This is why I haven't been doing
don't
it.
Oh,
think it's
good.
gonna be a problem.
Oh,
So Lanik is gonna kind of turn his head towards Sam, and he pulls out Frankie's blue flavor ball.
Oh,
I had a
interesting.
thought.
Do tell.
You're smarter than me. Could I create a tunnel using the ocean salt?
Well, I'm
Or
actually
would that fall apart in a second?
real fast. I'm actually gonna taste the water, make sure this is salt water and not like fresh water. Just a quick taste.
Does coral reefs, are they typically in
That's
saltwater?
Saltwater.
they're typically in saltwater, but in an atoll situation, if fresh water has seeped into it and it's not exiting and having flow in from the ocean,
Yeah,
it
it
could become
be.
fresh over time.
Oh, I
It could
see.
be compromised in that way,
So that's why I'm
but
wondering.
it should be saltwater,
Okay,
especially
yeah,
deep
give it.
down.
If you give it a taste, yeah, it's salty.
All right.
The water's salty.
Okay, yeah, it's saltwater.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not worried about the swim down. I think we'll be fine on the swim down.
It's air, is the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's getting trapped in some underwater cavern and not being able to breathe. And
All
then
right.
drowning.
I think, honestly, best chance, because I've had to do this a couple times in the past with dives, is the best swimmer goes first with a rope and
Mhm.
creates a lead. And if they run out of air before they find any, they tug it, we pull them back as soon as we can and hope we get them up in time. That's what we've had to do before.
would the mud be useful at all in this situation?
I don't think so. Because it just affects people's perception of you, doesn't it?
Yeah. Okay.
Although the time-stopping one might give that person a few extra seconds.
Yeah, we may need that later.
Yeah.
But we might need that
I
later.
think we'll need it for what's to come.
Yeah.
So,
Can Frankie create air bubbles? Are you capable of doing that with your telekinesis?
I've never tried that before. To try to control the shape of the water. I mean, I can give it a go.
gonna hang a
Fingers
second.
crossed.
So, just out of curiosity, the blue flavor ball idea, we're holding on to that.
Yeah, we're gonna hold on to it because
Yes.
that's not a bad idea at all. So,
Mm-mm.
exploring other options too,
Mm-hmm.
because we want multiple plans. Shit
I
goes
mean,
bad.
I don't know if you
It
allow
would also
that
be really
part,
handy
but
to still have that if we have to fight an entire pirate crew.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I mean, I could probably, if you allow Hark, to at least have Frankie focus all of his telekinesis in one. But I don't know if he
On
could
one
do.
person.
Yeah, but I don't know
to
if he
keep
could
that
do it.
air pocket.
Yeah, I don't know if he could do it on everyone.
Yeah, you can try that to give that person air pocket. Sure.
So I could.
Once they get out of line of sight, though, that might be a
I
little
know,
difficult.
but you said water's pretty clear, so I can at least buy
Water's
time.
Mhm.
At least I can get to as far down as I can, and then the person can hold their breath the rest of the way. So I can at least buy time. Yeah. For the swimmer.
I'm actually wondering if would using wings in water propel a little faster, since it's more push ability, like oars almost.
Fairy
Like-
wings.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
wondering, because like I know like flying fish can do that.
Anatomically, it would depend on the type of wings. If the wings were
Yeah.
waterproof, like if you were an owl, you'd be sunk. But if you were a
Yeah.
A duck.
Seagull.
You're fine.
Right, but the thing is, I feel like fairy wings are not
They're
built for swimming.
No.
They're more insect-like, and
Okay.
insect wings don't really work well in water.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, because yeah.
if
All right.
only Star was an undine.
So who's going to be the one going down?
Mm.
The best swimmer.
That
Who's
begs the
best
question.
And
Jim,
black powder.
is it? It's yeah.
Me and you. First.
That way I can focus
I-
the air pocket around your head.
Alright, I would almost actually say me and Frankie, because then he can come with and focus. And also he's pretty healthy
Mhm.
physically.
But he can only put the air pocket around you, right? Not all of you?
That's the question.
Or me and Frankie.
Well,
If Frankie's
black powder
got
is
your
really small.
good swimming.
I'm small, so maybe if I hold on to Frankie, then we can both be within that pocket together.
Could work.
Because I am tiny right now.
Yeah. Good.
I have no problem going because I have the most experience in the water.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't it be harder for Frankie to go because he is missing limbs?
Black Powder's swimming's pretty good even with the missing limbs though, because he mostly propels with his arms. His health is good.
11.
Okay.
All about the rolls.
Yeah.
So
Okay, so who's going down? Sam and Frankie and Black Powder. The three of you. Okay. The three of you. Okay.
I still think Sam should stay because he's really good to have up here in case things go bad.
I'll keep an eye up here. Let Sam go with you.
All right. If you're sure. Then all right.
So, I'm sorry. So it's two of you or three of you?
Three.
Three. Okay, so the three of you are going to go ahead and try to go down. So you'll at first try to swim, just to do a raw swim, and if so, then roll your health swim checks.
Yeah, let's try this raw swim first.
I'm gonna roll mine, but it'll be for Jim's.
It doesn't.
Jim has advantage in all of his swim checks. He has advantage. So always take the better of the two.
All right, and then I would use Star's swimming ability because I have Star's body.
Yes.
Yeah. Jim's swimming is actually very high. He's at a 14.
I'm good.
Yeah,
So,
Wow.
so you're fine. Jim's is 14. He's a really good swimmer.
He is a really good swimmer.
Yeah. Okay. So nobody failed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right, we're good.
So you will be able to reach that cavern, the opening of that cavern, pretty quickly. And if you peer into it, it is going to, you can tell it's going to get progressively darker, and because you're doing underwater cavern swimming, it's possible that you might get stuck if you're not careful. So if you're going to try to go through, I will ask you to do a dexterity check at this point to try to not get yourself stuck as you're trying to maneuver through this cavern. You're smaller, so it's going to be harder for you to get caught in anything because you're small. Frankie's fine. Okay, so the good news is you will be able to navigate through this cavern pretty quickly. And as you're starting to be concerned about oxygen, the cavern starts to actually go up slightly. And then when you do, you're very surprised because in terms of physics, this doesn't make any sense, but you're surprised that your head hits the surface of water and you have oxygen again once your head breaks the surface of water as you go slightly up. And if you do, you see right in front of you is this big, vast, open cavern that is filled with piles and piles of gold and like various treasure and baubles and other items of that nature, treasure chests and things, jewels, gems, just various expensive looking things.
All right. So we brought that rope with us, right, guys? Okay. So yeah, we'll do whatever code we basically said that says we're safe. You guys can pull yourself along because that should help them get through faster by pulling. That's why we brought the rope.
Any signs of anybody else coming in here before us? Wet footprints?
Were there
or
any
anything?
signs of anyone else coming in before you?
Yeah.
Roll a spot, I guess, perception.
Focus on the treasure.
Hark, I have a question. What would be considered a self-control roll?
Will?
I guess.
Because
Will.
I do have the greed disadvantage.
Yeah.
And then my first time
So
seeing
that
it.
That would be Will.
Okay.
Okay, you just pass. You just barely pass.
I'm not perfect.
Did anyone succeed in their spot? I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Okay, so Sam, you're not going to see any sign of anyone else that has been in this chasm, at least not recently. However, you will see something in the very center of this room. There's this object that seems to be on some sort of like, I wouldn't say fancy pedestal looking thing, but it's sort of like a makeshift pedestal. And it appears to be a pouch of some sort. And it looks like the pouch has something in it. But yeah, it's like right there, smack in the center of the whole chest. For whatever reason, that specific pouch like catches your eye. In fact, I will ask for you to make a will save with a disadvantage to not want to just go up and grab it yourself right now with your greed. Okay, you're fine. You don't have to necessarily go up and grab it, but you're definitely compelled to check it out.
Golden curse thing.
Yeah, not seeing any sign of Jim or anything. I'll just wait for everybody else to come up, and I'll side-eye the pouch, but I'm good without.
Yeah, while we're waiting for everyone else to join, Black Powder's just kind of walking or whatever for the cavern and just looking at all of it.
Yeah, you're just kind of looking at all of it, and I mean, there's definitely enough wealth here to make probably like 5 people live comfortably for the rest of their days. Maybe even their children too. There's so much wealth here. Certainly like during your time. And as you all are waiting for the rest of the group to arrive, I would like for you all to make another perception scene, please, all 3 of you. With a minus, I'm gonna say -4 penalty.
Oh, please. Nope, I'm mad.
Ooh, the box.
I'm a bit distracted.
Okay.
I used my luck.
Sure.
Every 30 minutes in games, please.
Alright, I'm gonna try to use my luck. Let's go.
Go, Frankie, go.
Nope.
Ooh.
Oh,
Dang. That's pretty
Dang,
bad.
even with a -4 penalty.
Damn.
All right.
Had to give it a shot.
Never hurts.
Everything around you starts to suddenly feel cold. The temperature drops a little bit, to the point that you can actually start seeing your breath. And then, as soon as that happens, Black Powder, you're starting to feel very chilly. Your body starts to feel very chilly. To the point that your extremities are starting to freeze up a little bit. It's getting really, really cold.
Everyone get out now.
But why? What's happening?
Something's going on. Get out now.
Where are we gonna go? Back into the water?
Yes, just go.
Why?
Everybody to come in.
I'm not gonna
Something-
leave you.
Wrong. Just go.
Can't leave you. We're not leaving you.
I'll be following behind. Go.
No.
Trying to like shake out my arms a bit, try and warm them up.
Not leaving. Not leaving.
Frankie, please.
You'll hear a voice call out, "You should go." And from out of the water emerges Jim. He looks peed off. There's this big dark shadow around him. He's very pale. Even though his head is like corporeal, he's very pale. His eyes look bloodshot, like he hasn't slept at all since the last saw him. And there's just this really, really powerful crackling energy around him. And he says again, "You should go. This is between me and him."
All of you go.
I'm gonna look at Jim and just say, "Can't leave you, son," and stay put.
He looks at you, Sam, and Jim says, "You know, you were right, Sam. You were exactly right. Because of him," he turns to Black Powder, and he looks at him. "I I feel stronger. And with that, Black Powder, you get this sudden feeling of ice just going up like your arms, as in the pixie arms. Jim like takes his hand and he's got these fireballs in his hand, and he just hurls one at Black Powder. I will allow Frankie and or Sam to do something in that moment as he's hurling this big giant fireball at Black Powder, but it's up to you whether you want to intervene or not.
So, what kind of treasures are in this room?
Mostly gold and gems.
Mostly gold, gems. Any bigger pieces? Plates?
I'm sure there must be plates.
All
sure.
Right. I telekinesis a plate to intervene the hit of the fireball.
Okay. That's fine.
I'll go for the pouch and see if there's anything useful in the pouch. Because I left most everything else with my body.
You're gonna go ahead and grab the pouch, and inside the pouch there appears to be a scroll of some sort, which doesn't seem to be magical in nature. It seems just to be a note, and what looks like it looks like a grenade. It looks like a grenade, but like I said, there's stuff written on the note. But if you want to spend time to read through it, you can. But that's up to you if you want to spend the time to read through it.
Yeah, I'll yell out to Frankie, keep your shields up, keep them separate, and then I'll take the time to read it.
Yeah, so I'll be using my telekinesis to just try to block the shots and just try to ricochet them off.
You'll block the fireball so it doesn't actually hit Black Powder, but the frost around Black Powder is still creeping up, and it's actually starting to creep around his ears as well, to the point that your ears are starting to ring a little bit, Black Powder. And Jim just says, You, it's because of you that my life is over. And right now, who has the black ball, the black flavor ball?
Tori.
Tori, your flavor ball is reacting right now to your surprise, which it's never done before. And if you pick it up, it's like shaking, and it seems very unstable right now. Almost like it might blow up, but when you hold onto it, you just feel so much bitterness. Raging bitterness from the last person who touched it.
Are we in the cave at this point? Out of character. Are we outside the cave still?
You're about to dive into the water.
Okay.
This is all happening while you guys are still up above, and you're about to dive into the water.
My flavor Senshi ball is freaking out. Star.
Is that...
Jim used it, and it worked. I don't know if it's reacting to something, but whatever it is, there. Yeah.
Heart, can I still move?
You can move. You can still. You can. Well, you can't. You can't move your body very easily because you're kind of frozen.
If I try,
can
I like step forward like one?
Yeah.
Like really slowly.
Yes, you can really slowly. You can.
All right. I'm just gonna reach out and put my hand on Frankie's shoulder very gently. Frankie, stand down.
Trying to kill you.
I know.
We can't let that happen.
Jim, you got no reason to listen to me. But if you want to just kill me, that's fine. I'd let you. You have every right to. But we don't know what will happen to Star.
Jim like shudders a little bit, and then he seems to have regained resolve. He basically hesitates a little bit, but then he regains resolve and he says, "No, I have to kill you so that my father can be at rest. I have to kill you so that I can be at peace.
Fine. If we're able to get my body back to me, then you can kill me. You have every right to. You have every right to being angry. Don't hurt my family, please.
He says, family. You don't care about family. You don't care about anyone. You just tell people what they want to hear.
I didn't care. Not for a long time. Not until I knew what family actually meant. These people, I don't deserve them as friends. They're too good. They're too idyllic in their beliefs. But they taught me some things I thought I was too old to learn. Like I said, you can kill me, you have every right to that. You have every right to take vengeance for your father. Don't hurt my friends. Let me get Star's body back to Star somehow. And then I am at your mercy.
Shut up! Shut up, shut up, shut up! Stop with your talking! You're just stalling! You're just trying to save yourself!
No.
Everything you do is just telling people what they want to hear!
It used to be. I've done terrible things, Jim, and there's nothing I can do to make up for that. I never want to hurt you, Jim. But I'm not going to stand here and say I did nothing wrong. I did. I also know that you are not a murderer. Vengeance is one thing, but Star and Frankie and Sam and Tori and Lonick, they had nothing to do with the death of your father. They don't deserve your wrath. I do.
You're wrong. It's not murder. It's justice. Isn't that right, Mr. Sam? He says, looking at Sam when he says the word justice.
It would be murder if you killed Star in doing so.
I don't have to hurt your body, he says. And with that, he snaps his fingers, and in that moment, your ears freeze up, and you hear this painful ringing in your head. Painful ringing. And then the ringing just stops. And you can't hear anything at all. You are effectively deaf at the moment. You don't hear a thing.
I can't hear, but I'll still look at him. It's like, if you can guarantee Star won't get hurt, then go ahead.
He still seems to be very blind with rage. At this point, I will allow for the rest of the group to go into the chasm. So Star and Tori and Lonick to go into the chasm. And you see very extremely unstable, ghostly Jen. And he seems very ready to just nuke black powder right in front of you, unless somebody does something. It doesn't seem like black powder is resisting at all.
Okay. Star is gonna start singing the gospel hymn from his world. So he's gonna be like, Corypheus is a liar and a conjure too. If you don't watch out, he'll conjure you. If I could, I surely would. Bend on the circle and drive things through. I'm trying to do.
I was trying to tell you something.
Lonick's gonna join in.
Oh wow, okay, you're gonna start singing. Okay.
I don't know what Micah was saying, but
it does seem to have some effect on Jin. So his limbs are starting to lock a little bit, and he just is trying to force his anger and his rage and bitterness even more so, and you can see him fighting against the gospel song. So he's trying to hurl this fireball, but at the moment you're sort of at a, what do you call it? You're at an impasse right now.
Can I try to cause a distraction, or I don't know, maybe I don't know if I can intimidate, but maybe like try to confuse him a bit and say, if you really want to hurt Black Powder, then hurt this body. This is Black Powder's body. Come on. To try to get him away from hurting the other one.
He will turn his head towards you, and with every bit of energy that he has, he actually holds up his hand towards Black Powder and, like, Sith style, lifts you up in the air, like Sith style, lifts up Black Powder's body, and you can feel your limbs, like, being pulled and stretched, like, being pulled on all parts.
Oh, drawn and quartered.
And it's, yeah, it's very painful as you take 2 points of penetrating damage during that round. So he's temporarily distracted enough to not be paying attention to Black Powder's head and is now looking at Black Powder's body at the moment.
What happens if I use the bitter flavored ball at this point?
Are you going to try?
Yep.
Okay. You will roll me a magic roll. I want to see what you get.
Okay.
Okay.
Damn.
Because the magic of this space is powerful, it's actually because of Jim. He is increasing the magic potential in this space, and because he's filling this space with so much bitterness, you will actually be able to transform into the flavor senshi of bitterness.
I will, I think, summon up like a cloud of like cocoa powder and try to shoot it at Jim's face, because that's still
his face is still corporeal,
kind of blind him, I guess. So I'll say Cocoa Puff, and
I love it.
You'll do that, and of course he will react to that. Black Powder, your body falls back to the ground. You're not being pulled and stretched at the moment, like a rag doll, but you fall down onto the ground. And Jim's just gonna say, "Why are you helping him? I thought you were the good guys."
Anything on the note?
Yeah. So I will read to you what's on the note.
Oh boy.
Thank you for bringing that up. So I'm gonna make a post. This is the artifact for this world, actually. Yay!
It's not a puddle.
Not a puddle.
The artifact isn't a puddle.
no.
This is one of my personal favorites, actually. It is called the Grenade of Many Things.
Ooh.
So, first shalt thou take out the pin, then shalt thou count to 6, no more, no less. 6 shalt be the number of thou shalt count, and the number of the counting shall be 6. 7 shalt thou not count, not either count 5, excepting that thou then proceed to 6. 8 is right out. Once the number 6, being the 6th number, be reached, then lobbest thou thy grenade of many things towards thy foe, who being naughty shall thence be snuffed. Roll the 1d10 to determine which of the following explodes forth. A 1, which is a fireball. Any creature in a 20-foot radius takes 8d6 fire damage. Number 2, blinding flash. Any creature within a 30-foot radius makes a constitution and dex saving throw, which is basically health and dex, of 15, or be blinded for 1 minute and stunned for 1 turn. If one saving throw is made, the creature is blinded for 1 minute. No effect if both saves are made. 3 bears in hats come out from the grenade. Brown top hats. Brown bears and top hats. 4, black pudding, as in the creature, black pudding. 5, vanilla pudding, as in the food. It creates a 20-foot radius of slippery and delicious pudding. Any creature that moves through it must make a dexterity check of 12 or fall prone. 6, a confused old man. Includes a beard long enough to provide decency. 7, pinata number 1, filled with the most amazing candy the plane has to offer. 8, pinata number 2, filled with a swarm of poisonous snakes. Also, confetti. 9, disco. Every creature in a 40-foot radius who can hear must make a wisdom saving throw of 15 or dance, which is will. 15 of will, or dance uncontrollably for their next action. 10, get 10 more grenades. Roll again with the effects times 10.
God.
Stacks forever.
You get the 10, it'll be forever.
Yes.
Oh God.
But this is a pouch, so what actually happens is whenever you actually use a grenade of many things, once per day, it regenerates a new grenade of many things. Use it or lose it for the day. Use it or lose it for the day.
That is pretty cool.
Yes, that's very
That's awesome.
But Frank,
I want my pudding. I want my vanilla pudding.
Me too.
I was gonna say Frankie's no longer suspended.
Frankie's currently no longer suspended, but the cocoa powder is only going to distract Jim just for so much longer.
I'm gonna just try and look at Frankie, and I'm gonna motion to that pocket in his coat and say, "Save Jim."
Save Jim.
I keep motioning to that pocket in Black Powder's coat, where he put the letter.
You want me to read it? I read it.
Is anyone doing anything else before Jim tries to kill Black Powder again? Yes, Star. Or Lonic. Whichever.
Go ahead, Lonic.
Lonic is going to try and position himself between Black Powder and Jim and cry out, "Every word I've said to you since we first spoke was a lie and it wasn't my choice! Here's the first truth I've told you! I think you're the hero of this story! You're better than this!"
Wow, okay. Does Star do anything?
Star's like, that was a mouthful. But Star's continuing to sing, so Star's continuing to sing and was reaching for the flavor ball but forgot he was in Gregor's body. So it's like, oh crap. So he grabs the saber and saying, I'll just injure him without killing him. Just to like, oh, that's right. He can't even hurt him. He's a ghost. Never mind. So Star will continue singing Andraste and so Andra. Like he's hitting a higher note, trying to slow him down just as much as he could. And then he looks at Lonic and says, give me the blue ball.
Oh.
Lonic.
Okay.
Lonic tosses Star the blue ball.
Sure, you can take the blue ball.
And Star will say, sour power. No, yeah. Senshi sour power. Salt, change up.
Sure. You'll transform into the salt Senshi, so you're blue right now. And what do you do now that you're salty?
He'll say, salt of ring and prison spirit. So he'll do.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, so he'll put Lonic in prison.
Yes, smart.
Very
Super
good.
Smart. We learned that from Hocus. I learned that from Hocus Pocus.
I learned that from Supernatural.
Clever little white witch.
What clever little white witch? Yes, only a ring of salt can protect you from thy power.
Right.
Yes, so you'll create this ring of salt, and it actually creates this barrier. And I'm gonna say Jim, he's just gonna frustratingly like pound the side of this salt barrier, this barrier that the salt is making, and he is just, tears are streaming down his face, and he just seems so angry and upset at the same time, like just breaking down, yelling and screaming, and he just keeps yelling and says, "This is your fault! This is your fault! This is your fault!"
So Frankie's gonna pull out Black Powder's flavor Senshi ball.
Sweet. Okay.
Yes.
Sweet and salty? Are we gonna have a new transformation for this? Oh wait, never mind.
So it is the sweetness of flavor change up.
Yeah.
And he will transform into Black Powder's pink outfit.
Yep.
Pirate outfit.
And and he will send out a like a stream of sugar sweetness to calm his bitterness down.
Okay. Oh, yes.
And it'll just shower him. So there's this combination of like bitterness, cocoa, but there's this sweetness to soothe him.
Okay. You will bring out the sweetness to try to offset the bitterness. And again, like, he's just screaming and yelling and pounding, just little by little, he just breaks down. Like, he stops and then he just falls down onto his knees and he just breaks down crying, just uncontrollably, and for right now, he doesn't seem to be a threat to anyone, but he just seems extremely at a loss right now. Extremely in grief-stricken pain.
Am I still frozen?
You're still frozen, but you still can't hear anything.
Okay, so I can't really move, I can't really hear, I'm just kind of stuck.
Yeah.
I want to kneel down near him, not disturbing the circles, of course, but just tell him that if you destroy, whether it's black powder or Star's body holding black powder or anything like that, that's revenge. But it's not justice. Sometimes justice is letting others be the venue of retribution. Sometimes you have to put aside so that justice can be done without being able to partake in revenge. Two wrongs won't make a right.
He says, I just want him to know the pain that I have. For once, I just want him to understand what he did and how I have to live with that for the rest of my life.
So, Wannick's gonna tread the rest of the distance to them, kind of put his hand on Sam's shoulder, look down at Jim, and say, "Tell you a secret. He already does. That might be hard to understand. I get it. But he already does. All you can do is heal."
The energy that was raging around him again starts to dissipate even more, and he just continues to sob. He doesn't say anything, but he just continues to sob.
I'll ask him if he feels up to just verbalizing that to black powder. If I were to warm up black powder and have him sit down face to face.
Black powder. Having said that, this is going to complicate things a little bit. Having said that, so remember how we were saying that the magic that you cast is going to come back on you, like however many fold. So you may have gotten your vision back, but it comes at a cost. Karma is a punk. You are effectively deaf. Starting now, you effectively are deaf. Not blind, but deaf.
Oof.
So I will go and attempt to just make sure that there's like a good visual path between Jim and where black powder currently is, and try to warm up black powder so that they're able to move. And the whole time just reiterate that we're all here because of the curse, that treasured curse, something along those lines, where we are here to make sure that black powder is not continuing down this path, and that I want to make sure that black powder goes somewhere where they're going to be treated like an animal for the remainder of their life, and that's a better road.
You will be able to thaw black powder, but I would like for black powder to roll me a health roll, please, with a -4 penalty.
Using my health or Star's body?
You think Star's body.
No.
Star's body.
No.
I mean, it could be worse. It could be Lonix's body.
Yeah, it could be way worse. I rolled pretty good, but still with the penalty I failed, but not terribly.
Okay. Anybody who wants to can roll a first aid. Or medicine or whatever you want to choose.
If Lonix had his inventory, he could pull out the healing chips, but he does not.
I got a 12 out of 12.
Sam and Star, it looks like Star's body, his limbs are frostbitten. They're frostbitten. They need to be treated before something really bad happens.
Oh, we can go back to the spring. And try that.
I'm sorry, guys, I can't hear a word you're saying.
Can't hear.
And
What?
you heal.
What?
I don't know ASM.
Write it down. Write it down. I can read. Write it down.
Oh, you can read.
Yeah.
Tori, there's a
When
notepad
just in time.
and pen in your pocket.
Oh, yeah. I will pull out Sam's little notebook and
Just in time.
write down what's happening.
Alright. What exactly is happening? Okay.
Yeah, so we need to heal you, take you back to the healing spring, the hot spring.
Okay, what about Jim?
Guys?
He seems to be calmed.
I believe that Jim will do the right thing, but perhaps...
I can't hear you. Tori, please write what they're saying.
Yes, I'm kind of like writing it along as they go.
You're using closed captioning.
Exactly. Period.
I believe that Jim won't attempt to kill us again, at least not yet. And I'll release him myself.
I want to look at Jim real fast, and I'm going to go up to him. I'll be honest, I can't hear anything you say right now, physically. I can't hear. I can't take back what happened. I want to give you something if you'll let me, but I can only do it while I'm in this body. And it means I have to touch you. If you'll let me do that, that's the last thing I'll ever ask of you.
Roll a persuasion. You can use your fast talk.
Can I help with that?
I succeeded.
Oh.
He succeeded.
I have to almost fail this.
Jim looks at you. You can sense the distrust in his eyes, but you can also sense the exhaustion in his eyes. Like, he's just so spent right now. You can see that he wants to resist, but he's just so emotionally unstable at the moment that he doesn't respond. He doesn't pull away from you, but he also doesn't say anything. He just stays put and doesn't pull away.
Yeah, I'll just touch his face very gently in a non-harmful way. And because Star's body has the ability for empathy, I'm not going to do sorrow. I'm specifically putting through guilt. Just the guilt, and not trying to make Jim feel guilty, but so he can feel
your guilt.
My guilt and feel my sorrow, and just try and communicate that in this way.
You will give him this feeling of your guilt, and you believe that he received the message, and now he's processing it, numbly processing it at the moment.
Once I know it's gotten through, I'll remove my hand and be like, that's the best apology I know how to give.
What else is anything else happening? There's a lot of gold in here.
At the moment.
Which means that all of you who haven't yet need to roll at the disadvantage to not try to snatch up as much gold as you can.
Okay. I failed. Tori failed.
I failed.
Okay.
Frankie
so
failed.
I need a roll for Lonix.
all of you want to grab some gold.
Hey, Lonix succeeded!
Wow, Lonix resisted.
Lonix resisted.
Based on what's happened in this story, I think that makes a lot of sense. Like, everyone's just looking at the gold and Lonix just looking at his friends.
Aww.
The real treasure is the friends you make along the way.
Exactly.
Okay, I gotta write this down for vlog stuff because I just realized something.
So we're gonna say that you can decide whatever combination of gold coins or gems or jewelry or art pieces. We'll say that you can grab like $1,000 a piece.
I will say I do want to collect a bag, but for Jim, so that he can take it once he has his body back.
Yeah.
So he can like help his mom and pay off that dowry and stuff like that.
Yeah. Star's gonna be holding black powder because it is his body, and like Star just looks really sad at the body, like, oh my god, am I gonna, even though he knows there's the well, but it's just sad to see your own body damaged.
Yeah, and black powder will just be like, I'm sorry, Star.
Not your fault.
Well, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Not helping, Sam.
When black powder, you are preparing that pouch of money that you were telling me that you're going to give to Jim. Let's say you like scoop up a small pile of coins.
Yeah, and then I hand it to Frankie specifically. I don't hold on to it. I give it to Frankie afterwards.
As you're scooping up the pile of coins, you notice that underneath the pile of coins is a bookmark.
I'll pick it up and I'll show everyone.
Well,
you did it.
That's fantastic.
How do we get Jim out of here?
Let's get Jim out and maybe a trip to that fountain, hopefully to heal anyone who's injured.
Yeah.
And we're still in our body.
I'm hoping maybe going back to the library will fix it. But also, if possible, when we leave, I want to make sure this treasure stays buried. Redcap should not get a hold of it.
Right.
Well, if this is the point we can leave, we can always just destroy the cave when we come back.
Cave it in.
Yeah.
We want to go to the spring.
Yeah, we want to go to the spring first.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna just assume Tori's writing everything for Black Powder during
Yes.
conversations.
My hand's a little tired.
Out of character, Stars is still in blue salt form, yes?
Well, it would have lasted a minute, so by this point it would have worn off by this point. Okay, so you're all going to leave the cavern with the pouch of gold or whatever that you took with you. So, you also, Jim's gonna follow, but he's just gonna be, he's processing. He's gonna need a minute or more.
Yeah, I also want to make sure, like, maybe a dip in the spring will help him as well. That's what I'm hoping.
You will make your way to the spring, and who is actually going to get into the spring?
I'm going to just let
one of them get in again.
So everybody will go in. Here's a question: did anyone get into the spring who did not get into the spring last time?
Me and Sam didn't go in last time.
Yeah.
Okay, so everyone else went into the spring. Okay, so Sam and Tori, when you go into the spring, again, you feel very soothed, and I don't think you got any status ailments.
No.
So I don't think anything happens
I was
to you.
depressed on the ship, but yeah.
You'll feel your morale will go up because of how soothing the spring is. So we can say that you're less depressed now. But for everybody else, you will go into the spring, and again, it'll still feel physically soothing the way that the spring would. That was non-magical, but it doesn't seem to help any of your ailments. Anyone who wants can roll an IQ roll at this moment, and if you pass your IQ roll, you're wondering if this spring is like a one-time thing, like a one-time use kind of thing.
Yeah,
you have a feeling this is like a one-time use thing.
Right. Guess we'll have to treat the frostbite the old-fashioned way.
Well, maybe when we get back to the library. Well,
does it help Jim at all? Even if it's just to relax him?
Yes, it does. Jim seems, when he goes into the pool, even in ghost form, he just kind of takes a deep breath, and you just feel this release, this force of release, as all this bitterness, the tendrils of bitterness are just leaving into the aether, I guess, as he's in this pool. And you feel, whoever now has the bitter flavor ball, you feel that that's stabilizing as you speak. Anyone who wants to keep their IQ roll from before, you presume that the flavor balls are meant for specific users. Other people can use the flavor balls, but they probably will be affected by its ability. Like, the bitterness definitely seemed to feed on Jim's bitterness, and that's why he became so powerful with it, because he touched the ball and used the ball.
So these flavor balls, guys, we can't let other people use this. We can't let this get in the wrong hands. My bitter flavor ball was freaking out, and if it got that unstable and out of hand, it could be really bad. And she'll write this to Blackwater too.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
Got the bookmark?
Yeah.
We did.
So is it time to go home?
Just about. I'd like to do something really quick before we do.
What do you want to do?
Jim, I couldn't help you before. I wasn't myself. I can help you now. There are 2,000 gold pieces on my body, on Gregor. You're welcome to them.
Thank you. That will help.
And I'll motion to Frank, the bag also.
Bowter also
I hope I get my body back.
Give you this. This is his way of also apologizing. It's the least he can do,
Is he giving this to me so that he can feel better?
I think it's to make a wrong right.
He'll very cautiously take the sack, and he'll look at the contents, and then he won't say anything, but he'll close the sack again, and he'll just hold it.
There might be another boat on the island, Jim. Another pirate captain showed up. Your best chance might be to get out on one of the boats. Take one for yourself if you can.
I want to leave and never come back to this place again. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't belong out in the ocean.
Well,
I belong with my mom.
you're lucky there, Jim. You have the freedom to choose whatever path you want. I'm jealous of that.
Why? Why don't you have the freedom?
Where I come from, the only person who has any kind of freedom is the person in control. And that's just one person. But that's okay. That's my life. I don't get the choice, but I'm glad you do.
I don't understand. What kind of world wouldn't give you that choice?
A harsh one.
Maybe we're not that different then.
I hope so.
Jim, you have a chance at a comfortable, normal life. Take it.
It's the new start.
This body is really powerful, though. How can you say that? Did you see what I was able to do with it?
Yes. But it comes at a lot of costs, and I believe that you would like to go home and hug your mother again, right?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Please, I need my body back, please.
I don't know how to give it back.
We'll take care of that.
Kim, remember, we will be back. And I gave you my word. I will help your mother.
I hope so. Because this all feels like the ending of a story, but it doesn't really feel like a happy one.
It will be.
He'll nod. Go and do what you have to do.
Because I have started body, I'll put some magic into the bookmark.
Okay. You will use your magic. Go ahead. Roll. It should be okay, hopefully. Just don't critical fail. You're fine. You will use your magic to activate the bookmark, and as you are, you will see a boat in the distance. You will see a boat in the distance coming towards your general direction, and you will see a gentleman with a bright pink cap, instructing his crew to row, stroke. And he's got a telescope out, and I'm gonna say, Black Powder, you and him see eye to eye with the telescope just as you are dematerializing into the library. And when you returned back to the library, there are a number of things I should point out. One, your bodies are back.
Oh, thank goodness.
You have your bodies back. Black Powder is still effectively deaf, so that is a ailment that will stay as a trade for various things. So not just the ability to see again. However, I think it is poetic that he was able to receive that ailment just when he learns how to read. Mm-hmm. So yes. Good on. So
timing.
Tori, Black Powder owes you a lot.
You're welcome.
Just saying, Black Powder owes you a lot. B, if you will attempt to help with, I will say that with your first aid, you will be able to try to treat Star's frostbite, but because of the failed health roll that was rolled by Black Powder, you effectively lose the use of your dominant hand.
A whole hand?
The hand.
That's so harsh.
Yeah, it is really harsh.
When you just lose a finger or two.
Yeah, wow. It's a harsh world. It's a harsh world.
I'm so sorry.
Oh no!
Using a lot of magic. You all collectively were using a lot of magic, so it came back. So whatever your dominant hand is, you lose use of your dominant hand. It's still there. You don't have to cut it off. You don't have to chop it off, but it's just kind of lost. You have your other hand though. So
I get that feel.
I still would take that over being deaf, personally.
Yeah. Deaf is hard.
Yeah.
Deaf is hard.
Both are hard. Take it from me.
Yeah.
Third thing, there is a pool.
Oh.
Yes, there is a pool now in the library.
Nice.
That's befitting.
Very fitting.
Jacuzzi.
And
with jacuzzi.
Sure, with the jacuzzi.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
nice.
You can say there's a jacuzzi in there. In fact, Veed is in the jacuzzi right now.
Nice.
Just
Having
hanging
the
out
time of his life.
in the jacuzzi.
Right?
Having the time of his life. While you all were, getting frostbitten. And
right?
He's like, glad I didn't go with you guys. That was the right choice. But I think with all of that, this is a good place for us to stop. with all of that. So